All right, the Reds, Anfield Road TV here. It's going to be a daily, I wouldn't say news show, but just a Liverpool discussion show, really, on the magical trio that is Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch, and Dominic Szoboszlai. We are blessed to have him, as we said in the title. Kev, hope you're well, mate, and are you still celebrating off yesterday's performance, mate? I know I am.
I'm still buzzing off it, man. I'm so I'm still yeah. I'm on a high. Not that I didn't think we were going to beat them. It's just that in the manner of all this talk, up coming up with and about Ten Hag being the better Dutch manager, and this is twice in a few weeks, by the way, that he's humbled him 3-0, regardless of being pre-season or whatever. It just goes to show you, even though United had 2 or 3 weeks advantage on us in the pre-season, we're just light years ahead with the quality that we have in that. And I had to laugh at the fact that Gary Neville has been ranting and raving for the last season or so that Liverpool will be crying out for United's midfield. Well, United's midfield were crying yesterday when they met our midfield. You know what I mean? They were going home. The dummies sucked, and they had to bring on the baby and all to try and handle us with a bit of pace, and that was it. Yeah. Nah.
It's a joke, mate. Big up there, Lee. Big up to everyone. Obviously, these shows do go out live, but if you always do get your comments in on the post, like once it's been live, me and Kev or anyone on the channel as well, the subscribers, we've got a very good community on here as well. Very, very thankful about that. And yeah, whether you work in Manchester or wherever you work, anyway, I know it was been a very good morning for you as well, Reds.
Good
Yeah,
morning, Manchester.
yeah. Because I know a lot of you do work in Manchester as well, so big up to the Scouse Reds or Reds in general anyway. So I know you sort of enjoyed that. Lee, hope you had a very good day, mate. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in on the live, mate. Obviously today's discussion or chat, if you got any talking points that you want to bring up or that you want us to speak about, do get them in the comments and we will very much get to that. But anyone watching on the repeat, please do drop a like on the video as well. You're absolute legends. And anyone tuning in live, do drop a like on the video. Gets it out to more Liverpool fans out there. I think we're on 6 in a minute. Can we get that at least to 15, 20 as we are on live tonight? But yeah, first, well, the main talking point really will be speaking about these three lads, Kev.
Yeah.
Because I think obviously they are quite rightly getting a lot of the plaudits, but you know what? I want to speak about them even more because I think they have complemented Arne Slot's style of football extremely well. We've seen Dominic Szoboszlai under Jurgen Klopp. First, when he come in, Kev, I think we were trying to get him, trying to not turn him into Henderson, but I think we were that used to a player like Henderson or our midfield years gone by where it was just constantly running and not a lot of. Obviously, there were some technical aspects, but when you speak about these three under Arne Slot now, it's so much more technical that I think it suits all three of those lads' characteristics as football players to an absolute bloody T, really, mate.
Yeah, like the team they play very well. The three lads together they complement each other really well. That's the only way I can see it. As you were saying that there, the first thing that popped into my head is imagine what Gini Wijnaldum would have done in this type of formation as well. It was the only thing that was kind of popping into my head at the same time. I was like, that dude was like he did the utilitarian job for Klopp, but he was a proper double pivot player. He's a proper anchor player. So imagine what he would what he would have done in this team. Anyway, besides that, let's get to the boys that are there at the moment because the surprise package out of the three obviously being Ryan Gravenberch and how he's taken to it. But, as we've been saying, he did kind of play a similar role in Ajax for a while. A bit deeper, more of a centre midfielder. Dom started on the left yesterday, as Ian was saying there himself. He started on the left yesterday and I was kind of given more of a free role to drift across, whereas Alexis and Gravenberch kind of stayed or just slightly one above the other at times, so in that double pivot, so that it was beautiful to watch. But it's just the sheer control and knowing where the player is going to be for the next pass. Because one thing that I've noticed, especially under the Slot team, is the should I say the lack of no drop offs. But the lack of no drop offs in the pass possession. Everybody's getting nearly 90+% passing. In the way we're doing it, and the whole team as a whole has brought up its standard of passing like ridiculously high. And Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's just these little pockets they're picking up. The ability for Gravenberch to be able to read where the player is around him and then turn and move it. Just that one movement that happened with, I think it was McAllister to Gravenberch yesterday, and as he took it into his stride and he started running at him, it led to the disallowed goal for Trent. Yeah, but it was just that turn, man, around. He just made an absolute fool out of Casemiro. Like he literally, for me, I think he ended Casemiro's career yesterday. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I think
That's
it'll
how
be
good it was of a
yeah.
performance.
It's exciting, mate, and Reds, and I think that we're only 3 games in. Sadly, we've got the international break, but won't stop us doing the content and speaking about how good our lads are playing as well. And it's a breath of fresh air, really. Yeah, and as Zane said there, it all stems to really good coaching, really.
Yeah.
100% agree with him. I think we all would. Because Zane's mentioned Dom was popping up everywhere on the left centre and obviously on the right as well. Billy's still buzzing by the looks of it, rightly so, mate. Enjoy that, mate. And it's and I hold my hands up. I think anyone that's watched me over the last couple of years since Dominic Szoboszlai's come in, I've had my debates with my mates as well, and you, Kev, off camera as well. But obviously with Arne Slot, there's a fundamental principle already, and we're seeing that. And obviously in the next 2-3 years, it'll get even better. That there's a clear identity of like not just how they want to play, but where they want to play. Fundamentally, the most important, because you can, and the modern day era of football now, Kev. I don't want to be whoever we bring in the future or whatnot, and we've got to think about it. Just stop pigeonholing players into positions like for
Square
Gravenberch.
pegs and round holes. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so like everyone was like, "Oh, we won't fit in that position." But
Yeah.
as Zane said there, it's down to the coaching. It's down to Arne Slot to get the best out of him, and he's not like your most idea of you went and identified a player in the modern era of a number 6.
Yeah.
He might not tick all the boxes, but he ticks the boxes, Gravenberch, for what we want and what we need as well. And that's probably what the lads in the data department were analysing, going, right, profile of players, Zupimendi, if we can't get him, then sounds. There must be such a big disparity in regards to the level and the difference in type of qualities.
There is, and there was a lot of midfielders that were out there as well, Jack, that we could have gone for and all that. I actually, I was telling you what, I had a conversation with a lad in KMAX channel earlier today, and he was adamant that we should have gone for Joshua Kimmich. And I was just like, I don't understand that because his drop off has been immense. So like, he's a very, very good player. Don't get me wrong, but he doesn't suit the slot system. He doesn't play that role. He plays more of a 6, namely, right? So we want to bring in a 29-year-old that's dropped off by 35% and who's on 375,000 a week. I don't see what it is because it doesn't suit the mold of FSG buying young. We already have a Wataru Endo in there above the 26-year-old age bracket that we normally bring in for a player of that, for the like the elder statesman of that position. So there's always somebody who's just above the age of 26 that's in each position nearly for Liverpool if you get a bar. Well, I suppose Salah would be the one in the front line. But I didn't understand it, and it was just it made no sense to me just for the sake of buying a person to bring him in. But we didn't. It just goes to show you with Ryan Gravenberch that that's not what we needed. We didn't need a number 6. We needed, as we said, a double pivot, somebody who can control the game from the midfield, along with somebody else who can control the game from midfield. And at the moment, himself and McAllister are just dominating in there, and Szoboszlai is just benefiting from all the space that he's getting. Because he requires that space. He's not as quick as Gravenberch on the turn or McAllister on the turn, but he's a stylistic player. So to create space for him is essential to bring up his level of game as well. And all the rest of that are going to benefit from this because once Slot gets once the rest of the players that haven't kind of made it back into the squad yet see what Slot is doing and they catch up with whatever the rest of the team is doing, then they'll start going into battling for positions as well, like Harvey Elliott and all of that. They'll eventually get what Slot wants them to do. Kwanzaa's another one that's there that could that could benefit from seeing how Ibu and Virgil are working out because he's already a very accomplished defender in his own right. But he has to mature now, like eerily and and aggressively. Let's say his aggression needs to come up without being worried about what's going to happen if he's too aggressive. But these are areas they're going to catch up with, and they're very young players, so they will catch up.
Only gonna get better as well, mate, aren't they? Chas, yeah, sorry there. I was listening, Kevin. I was reading your comments, Kev, Chas, as well. But for some reason, YouTube's saying I'm spamming my own comment section. I don't know how you can do that, mate. It's my channel, but whatever, YouTube. That's you just love to see it anyway. Nothing surprises me with that. I was just saying, can you get the likes up, Chas? Smash the likes if you can do it as
well. Put an old thumb in there.
Yeah, as Zane said, we save the gravy, the gravy with the Sunday roast as well.
The gravy with the Sunday roast, yeah. That's his new nickname, and gravy. Gravenberger's gravy.
Yeah, that's good for you, Zane. I'll tell you that now anyway, mate. It's, but yeah, McAllister, mate, I think in terms of the balance, I think for any midfield in European football, I think when we were speaking this week, if you've not seen Real Madrid, I think I've seen Real Madrid a couple of times already this season. Their balance up front, Ancelotti has already spoke about not getting, obviously, integrating Mbappe. They're not clicking at this moment in time. Hopefully, they're not clicking in a couple of weeks.
Mbappe and Vinicius were terrible in the last couple of weeks. They're falling over the ball. They couldn't control it. Anything else nuts. I seen that.
Yeah, and obviously, Mbappe got 2 goals last night. I think Vinny did get.
But it's like, it's running with the ball. They have a problem with at the moment.
Yeah, but for any great midfield, and even Real Madrid's, Manchester City's as well, we've seen over the years of like Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Rodri, as well, Gundogan when he comes in. It's just having that right balance. And I think with these 3 lads, hopefully caveated with the likes of the young players we've got, I'll say young, Jones, I think everyone in our fan base is ready just to throw him under the bus, as always. Not everyone, but sections of our fan base.
He's got talent, Jack.
Yeah, but I think Curtis Jones, and you know me, I'm one of his biggest fans, Chas. Yeah. And I think, and this goes to what Zane said at the top of the show, the coaching. We are yet to see Curtis Jones properly playing week in, week out. Whether that's coming in as a 30, 20-minute impact sub, I think he's certainly got the qualities to very much thrive under Arne Slot's football, mate. And this goes to show, like, the coaching setup at this moment in time, knows a lot more than us fans. Like, we might see them on a week-to-week basis in terms of every Saturday, Sunday, but Arne Slot sees these players from a day-to-day, 3 sessions a week, a day, or whatever they do anyway. But it's exciting, mate. You're looking at Elliott, you're looking at Jones to come in now. Endo, as you allude to there, Kev, we know obviously there was bids coming in the summer, but at the end of the day, Arne Slot, Kev, kept him for a reason.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't bring in our target.
Yeah, like I 100% think that Endo would keep calling him Endo. That Endo would have gone if Zubamendi came in. I don't think there would have been a place there for him to play football, especially the way Ryan Gravenberch was playing early doors, and we've even seen the best out of Ryan Gravenberch. So maybe it's been a blessing in disguise. We didn't spend any money, and we got a gem of a footballer that we already had. And and I don't know if that helps some people's endorphin levels, but it helps mine because I'm just like, nice one. We've a bit of gravy on the side of the chips, as Ian said there earlier. So he's Szoboszlai, him and McAllister have a really good understanding at the moment in the football. Salah and Diaz are complementing that, and they're seeing so much of the ball as well, and creating. So Salah and Diaz are really important in creating some of that space to force the defence coming out. So once they'll in to Gravenberch or McAllister or Szoboszlai and back out to Trent or Robbo, they're gone, and obviously they're in behind like really, really quickly. So I'm just looking forward to seeing how it turns out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, chat. You've only got 11 likes. There's 27 of yous in. Sorry to keep on banging on about it, but come on. The first thing you should be doing, when you get in the video, smash a like on the video as well. Dislike it if you want. It's not really bothered, but get those likes up anyway. Get the video out to more Liverpool fans around the world as well.
It could be worse, lads. We could be one of those channels that keep asking you for super chats just to talk to us. You know what I mean? So we're some of them.
Yeah, we'll read out. That's what we might have to stop doing anyway. But
I know.
I don't want to be doing. But if we don't keep on getting the bloody likes up, get the likes up, chat anyway. We try and interact with as many as we possibly can anyway. But yeah, big up there, Matthias, and we get to Justin's comments as well. Big up, guys. I'm loving Slot more and more. Finally, a proper coach who actually plays the players in their best strengths as well. Yeah, 100%. Matthias, evening. Gravenberch gets a lot of respect for his job, and that's a good thing. But now that the LFC are playing the 4-2-3-1 system, obviously it changes the fluidity, Matthias.
The fluid system.
Yeah, it's a very fluid system. A lot of
he writes it down as 4-3-3, but it can alternate between 4-2-2-2, 4-2-3-1.
4-3, 4-2-4.
Even a 3-box-3, and but it won't be a 4-2-4 because it would be as bad as United. But it'd be
no, but staying out of possession as well. It is a 4-2. Like
Yeah.
McAllister obviously pushed it up. It's a lot of rotation anyway. None of these days playing a proper Mike Bassett.
United at the moment are just playing a constant 4-2-4, and that's where their big problem is. They keep losing possession in midfield, and it's awful.
And as Arne Slot said in his press conference at the beginning of the season, he doesn't like people pigeonholing his formations in a 4-2-3-1 or whatnot as well. And so the best coaches adapt on the fly, and that's refreshing. It is refreshing, chat. If only that goal was counted, the iconic Stevie G celebration would have ruined it. Yeah, it's all right, though. We've still got it on camera anyway. Yeah. And I tell you,
the fact we got the win makes it even more funny, you know? Salah could have scored a goal and he still could have walked over and kissed the camera. It doesn't matter. It'll be edited that way anyway.
Yeah. Now, there's a couple of already good editors out there anyway. There's someone on, I think it was on X, has already edited it to a point where Trent moves the camera, but when Gerrard done it, the transition is amazing. It's kind of...
he found a spot where the cameras went the same way at the same time, and then just kind of jotted them in there.
Spielberg-esque on the cut, really, and it was not too bad anyway. But big up there, the Anfield circle, the Arsenal fan circle. Big up there, mate. Yeah, we will very much do. Obviously, when we should be playing Arsenal in a couple of weeks. I should really know the fixture anyway. That's quite bad on me, but yeah, we'll certainly get a collaboration on the go, mate. I've known you for that long, mate, and thank you for tuning in. Yeah, for October, we'll get that sorted, mate. 100% as well. Without McAllister, Gravenberch wouldn't have looked this good as well.
He looked well without McAllister on the preseason as well. Yeah.
I think that's being a bit too
I disagree with that. I think Gravenberch, he suits this role with the double pivot. Because, like as we say, we don't need no proper number 6 now. We just need somebody who can tackle like a 6, but progressively pass like an 8. So he's looking for that kind of thing. Make no mistake, Liverpool still needs a proper number. No, I disagree with that.
I was going to say, Matthias, please define what you want the midfield 6, because as we've already said, mate, as I said at the top of the show, like the pigeonhole
there, he can't progressively pass. He just tackles, he releases the ball, and then there's 2 lads in front of him that do it. We've got a double pivot, so pretty much sitting there with, how would you say it? Not even number 6s because they're too deep.
It's the thing, because we don't before this new season, Kev, and everyone done, whoever's on YouTube and in terms of Liverpool circle as well. I think all of us are certainly doing videos before the season starts with you, Kev, and many of you in the chat. We were identifying ball playing 6s in terms of players that retain the ball and just keep on, and then we identified the 6s that were destroyers. But it's probably getting that right balance, really. But
when you look at Zubilmendi, everybody sees him as only being an out-and-out 6 because of certain formations and Real Sociedad. He's not. No, but you look at him with Spain and Rodri when they're sitting in that 4-3-3 formation is the out-and-out number 6. But then they switch to having the 2 sitting basemen like Ruiz will step in or Almo will step in there next to him at the same time, and then he's actually playing the double pivot role, which is why Liverpool went after him in the first place. So he's more of an all-rounder, really, Zubilmendi, and what he can do. But as a note number 6, that's not why we were buying him. We were buying him because he could progressively pass and create.
Big up there, size. But I was going to say, have Liverpool conceded any goals this season?
No, we haven't.
I was going to say,
the number 6 job at the moment has been done by. No, it's not, because we have no number 6. Because it's their job in this formation to be both the number 6. So we have to stop thinking in the mindset that we're playing with a base level player. We're not. Gravenberch chooses to drop back deeper more so than McAllister to free him up more. McAllister, when he's on that side, drops back a little deeper and allows you. If you've seen, you just look at the pass, as I said earlier, from Maka into Gravenberch that he made an absolute fool out of Casemiro. Then started running on forward with the ball. That played into Diaz. They got the disallowed goal for. They both alternated their positions back into that deeper role. It's just an alter. That's all it is. Just a finely balanced seesaw that just keep moving up and down. We're not going to sit with the number 6 because he's not sitting directly in the middle. There's one sitting either side of the park, and they only drift into the middle when one drifts a bit further over. That's
Like,
it.
I think
It's
everyone,
fine tuning. It's a fine tuned version of it, but it's not a number 6. Yeah.
yeah, I think everyone needs to get out of this Jurgen Klopp thinking
Mm,
as well. Chas. It's what it
that's
is.
done.
We are so we were so accustomed, and this is where even Anfield, I think even if Arne Slot's Anfield is quiet for certain sections in the next couple of weeks, it'll certainly have a go at the crowd because obviously it's trying to get that. We're so accustomed to be getting counter-attacked by teams when we used to play with Jurgen. But in terms of, it's so refreshing, Kev. And we watched that game yesterday. We weren't even out with second gear. Yes, Man United made the mistakes, but we made them in terms of our positional play as a team.
We forced them into those mistakes.
Like,
that's the whole point of a counter press. Yeah.
Counter press. And in terms of Gravenberch, there's one thing, yes, Casemiro misplacing or Mainu getting muscled off the ball. But the lads are pressing, especially for our third goal. Mainu gets absolutely manhandled and soda barged, proper Sunday league. Well, it wasn't Sunday, it was just a subtle nudge from our lads in midfield and then just lob the ball off him. Well, that is elite level football at its highest, and I'm hoping we do that against it's going to be a big test against the likes of City, against Arsenal as well in a couple of weeks. They're the games really where we will see a game of chess as well. But I think everyone, the fan base sections of our fan base are still
it's how good we drag out Rodri for City. If with that double play, if we can drag Rodri forward and create that space in behind for either McAllister or Gravenberch or Szoboszlai, who's going to be further forward than most of them, then it's just to drag him up onto us so we can just bypass him. You know, it's all about bypassing that midfield and controlling it. And I explained it there earlier. Sorry, I see Matt is comment. I explained it earlier why we went for Zubimendi, because he's an all-round player. He's not just a number 6. We are looking for what we're looking for is a progressive passing defensive midfield, but not no defensive midfielder. I don't know. Defensive midfielder is your Fabinho's. They can do a long-range ground pass and the odd long ball, but Slot wants somebody who can also retain the ball. He wants to keep possession all the time. So he wants to be able to retain the ball and run with it, progressive carry, progressive pass, be able to do. He wants an all-rounder, man. He wants an elite level midfielder that can do all the box-to-box stuff.
Yeah, the ideal situation, I think, for Arne in a couple of, say, 12 months.
Yeah.
He can possibly, obviously, hopefully Endo does well this season up until January. We might bring in a player there, and we wish Endo well. But I think long term, we all know, and I think Arne Slot is not going to sit here and please everyone. He knows he's probably made aware. But what I love about is Arne Slot, he's not just casting aside. He's keeping him at arm's length in regards to not just that, but with Trent as well. He keeps it at arm's length. And we know what Arne Slot's all about. He's not he's not going to be hugging everyone. Obviously, if we win a league title, he'll be buzzing as well. But he just gives the thumbs up sound. He gives the thumbs up at Old Trafford as well to Liverpool fans, and he gives that because he knows how important they'll win. But he's there to do a job, Arne Slot. He's not there to be your best mate.
If we win the league, he'll come out and he'll do his whole Dr. Eve thing. Yes, a bong on the blitz.
Well done. But that's what I love. I think, obviously, as a fan base, we need to become accustomed now to his style of management, and it's refreshing. But even those players as well don't know what he's all about. He'll keep it at arm's length for a majority of all those players. He's not going to be hugging. It's his own style of football we all need to get used to. But yeah, big up there. We'll quickly get to them as well. It's memes. What we need is a pivot. Pivot is number 6, but it's drop back. And it's a lot of variation, no memes, as I said.
And there's nothing wrong with getting an 0-0 double or number 6, but he just has to be able to progressive carry and move, because Slot See, because with Klopp, there was a hell of a lot of passing around the back.
A lot
A
of
hell
areas.
in the last couple of seasons, there was a lot of back passing, a lot of stuff like that. I'm surprised that our possession stats weren't like 90-10 against other teams. But that's not really a full possession-based team because you have to be progressive with it. So, uh, okay, I know you're hell of saying it there as well. But you have to be aggressively playing in possession. So that doesn't mean that it means you're controlling the game via how you allow the possession to happen. So there's a different thing it's a different way of just saying we're holding the ball, we're going back, we're going forward, we're going side, for about 10 minutes and nothing's happening up in front of goal. That's the way we kind of end up under Klopp in the last few seasons, and it's the reason why we were conceding so many goals, because when you're doing the same well and there's no excitement in the football, or there's no excitement in the turn of play, it's hard to kind of keep your mindset on it. So we were making a lot of mistakes. It's kind of like where United are right now. They keep thinking they're going to go forward and progress, but they're still doing the same type of stupid football over and over again, and it's getting them caught. But with Lad at the moment, I think he's really sussing out what he can do with this team. So he's doing more possession to counter press. So he's balancing it well there. And I think eventually you'll see us with a lot more possession and control in the game. But it'll be within stages. Like, we're always going to, give up somewhat of possession to be aggressively attacking in his game. But that's his idea of what possession-based football is. It's not really having like 80% to 20% possession. It's really about controlling the game with the possession.
It's a flick of a switch, like a flick of like that, like literally the rotation, the passing. But it's I love it. Like, we're all getting used to it, but it is absolutely amazing. And I know obviously Callum's saying we're only 3 games in, but we're comparing it. It's thing is, Callum, we know how, and we spoke about that on the video in the post match last night as well. It was good for the 3-4 years, but it wasn't sustainable. Jurgen Klopp's football. And even if
too high gung ho all the time. Burn themselves out.
It required a lot of energy for every single one of those players as well. Yeah. Hence why probably Mane's legs fell off, Fabinho's legs fell off as well. And Firmino, I think he was bloody knackered by the end of like the 4th or 5th season as well.
If Jurgen Klopp was heavy metal football, Arne Slot is classical music. So it's intelligent space using of space, and then moving, and then the next player realizing where the next space is going to turn up. There's a lot of that going on with his football, and I'm really enjoying it, because where you think, like, there was a couple of times I didn't even realize that Robbo and Trent were in the positions that they were so far out wide when they were receiving the ball, because I couldn't see him anywhere appearing or off appearing on the camera, at all. So I just assumed that they were after tucking inside, and they didn't. And the ball went out, and I said, "Where's he playing it to?" And next minute they turned up on the halfway line with a pass through, and then we were through on goal. And I was like, "What? Where did that come from?" So we didn't see enough of that in the last 3 years on the Klopp. We've seen a lot at the start, but he said it himself. He wants to develop what Klopp has here, because it's a really good stylistic style. He just wants to be more smart and aggressive in his possession-based football rather than just gung ho.
Yeah. Name that we haven't mentioned, but we'll obviously tie it in with obviously RB Elliott as well, though, chat. I'm liking the way that we've not seen a lot of him, but that's for a reason. There was a lot of players under Jurgen Klopp that we didn't see for a bit. And obviously, as soon as he got the chance, he never looked back. Look at Robbo. He wasn't always in straight away. Obviously, he had to bide his time. Similar with players under Jurgen. But I think we're on a slot as well. RB Elliott will be extremely key, especially for games where, obviously, it's great when we're winning. We've won 3 games, haven't conceded, but there will be bumps along the road as well. And already, I think in pre-season, we've seen glimpses in terms of we know his quality. I think RB Elliott's final ball into a penalty area, he's still a young lad. I think we all kind of forget how young he is. But I think Elliott, it'll be interesting. Dominic Szoboszlai's got that more. I'd say he's got a lot more different, but he's obviously a lot more old. I'll say he's a lot more old than Elliott. Szoboszlai, but
26, Szoboszlai, 26.
No, he's not. He's 22. Szoboszlai.
Yeah. Is Szoboszlai only 22?
Yeah, 22. Chat. He's 23. Yeah.
He just came out of Gravenbach.
This is how young this side is. It's ridiculous.
I thought there was at least one older fella. So it's McAllister's the 25, 26-year-old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So
I
right.
think he's like 23, 24, McAllister. Yeah, I think he's like 20.
God,
They're all
that's
so
what I
young,
know.
and this is what's
That's
mad.
10
This is,
years worth of a midfield there, man.
you're wishing them away, Kev. Like,
Yeah.
so you don't
Yeah.
know.
What the hell?
It's, but yeah, Elliot, Kev, and just
Oh, sorry, Jack. I was thinking about how I'm having 2 more league titles in the Champions League under the belt by the time they're that age. Sorry about that, boy.
Yeah, fuzzy old chat. Have a word, Kev, in the comments. There we go. But RV Elliott, I think when he does come into these three as well, obviously we know these three players will be absolutely exceptional. But how do you anticipate Arne Slot to very much integrate Elliott's qualities? Because we know he's certainly got a lot of qualities, but I'm looking forward to see how Arne Slot's vision is for Elliott going forward in this new look Liverpool.
I think Elliott's probably in the same place that Szoboszlai was in the last few weeks, where he was a bit fatigued when he came back, and he's, not at the races fully, but I mean, we know there's a player there in Harvey Elliott, and if he comes on as any bit of a squad player, he's happy with that. He'll get starts, he'll get cup games, he'll get a couple of those Champions League ties with the amount of games that are there now against different teams. Slot, well, this new Champions League format really gives Slot a way to study the amount of tactics that he has and the amount of formations that he has. It's a good way to kind of blend them in and say, all right, lads, now we've got these 5 formations aggressively that we can go to when we're on attack, and we've got these 5 or 6 formations that we can go to aggressively when we're on defence. That we're really comfortable with. So, these lads are going to be super important going forward. Same as Jones and all of these guys, they're going to be there, and they're going to be there for the cup games. Like, even though the lads got a bit more game time on the clock in the last few seasons, so did all the other young fellas.
It's the European teams, though, Kev, as well.
Yeah.
And that's like, there's so much more football.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, oh, the main team. We'll see the likes of Jones, Elliott as well, though, miss. I was quickly looking at the age. Like, obviously, Gravenberg, we knew was 22. Obviously, suppose like 23 as well. It's just mad. I think he's going to be turning 24. Alexis, 25. And it's an absolute joke. Yeah, and this goes to show how good the potential is for this squad as well. Not just the management, though, Kev. If you can develop, and especially if you can come close to winning the league title, I think even if we get into that bracket of being close but not quite getting over the line, obviously if you're in that chat within 5 games to go, you want to be winning the league. But it's the next phase now of obviously the Liverpool teammates. Like, and you look at Elliott, it's exciting, mate. It is absolutely exciting.
It's the next game, dude. Just look at the next game and do the next game. That was one brilliant thing about Klopp's mentality, was looking at the next game and not looking too far ahead at the next players or the next teams that were playing or the hard teams that were playing, and only concentrating on that. For a long time, Liverpool were kind of negligent in that way, where some of the players would have their eye on 2 games forward, and they drop the ball then against your Crystal Palaces and against your whatever, that were just kind of causes. And I'm just like, you dropped the ball. You didn't listen to your own mentality, which is, just play it game by game and don't worry about the next game that comes up. Study them in the week that you're coming up to them, and let the coaches do their studying and the rest of the coaching team do their studying by watching the videos and watching how they play and do all of that, and then bring that to fruition in the week that you need to learn about that team, because your footballers are paid an absolute bucket load of money to be able to learn on the fly of how to take on a team in that week. It's just the way it is. I'm playing week by week. Just concentrate, because if you concentrate on one point in time, you become more focused on that point. You become more well-rounded and more, more well-rounded on the subject of that team. So that's what you want.
Yeah, Arnie said at the beginning of the season, didn't he, in the pre-season, he's trying to get some of these players, a large majority of the squad, out of bad habits, really, and in regards to, as he's saying, the team was trying to sometimes just look for that ball straight away over the top or whatnot, and it's just trying to. And I think we see that certainly against Manchester United, where we didn't see the long balls, but when we go forward, it's with precision, really. But it's exciting. Big up there, Wiggs. How are we, lads? Big up there, Wiggs. Hope you had a very good day, mate. And I think memes and Justin and just having a good old chat. That's what it's all about, though, Reds. And big up there. Yeah, it's only. Well, I was going to say it's only 6, but it's what, 7 or 8 in where are you?
Yeah, the clock or something over here. And that's why this is my first one. It's movie night now with the missus, so we're going to relax now in the sheet.
You're not going to watch the highlights of the game yesterday? Or?
Oh yeah, again and again and again.
That's a movie in itself.
Should be elbow me to the side as I keep rewatching it on my phone.
Yeah, there we
So
go.
that's what's going to happen. And then like this place gets nice and dark at night time, and the pool just lights up all blue, so you can just take a dive in there in the pitch dark about 10 o'clock, and it's nicely lit up and stuff.
That's nice for some miniatures.
Yeah.
It's nice. Really.
How about that? Then?
Yeah, stop rubbing it in lots. But in terms of obviously Liverpool going forward, Ed, I think it's going to be a big testing. Just going to quickly get up the fixtures in regards to obviously post when we all come back from obviously the international break. Fortunate enough, it's only what are we on now? Yeah, it's going to be. Is it a 2 week? Yeah, it's looking like a 2 week break. Yeah, 2 week break anyway. We're back on the 14th, and that is a home fixture against Forest. And then, obviously, on the 17th, we've got AC Milan away. We've been there in a couple of years, obviously, for the Travelling Cup. It'll be similar surroundings as well, and hopefully a similar result for Liverpool as well. After the Milan, then we've got Bournemouth at home again. So we've got 2 back-to-back Premier League home games, and away against Wolves, and then Bologna at home, and then Palace away, and then Chelsea on the 19th of the 10th. And yeah, big games.
Those games very, very winnable.
Get on this chat. I haven't really looked at the first time I've actually properly looked at the fixtures with all the European games added on. So in terms of when you get into November time, Liverpool have got Brighton. Well, we've got Arsenal on the 27th at the 10th. And then we've got on the 2nd of November, Liverpool playing Brighton. So we've got Arsenal away, then Brighton at home. And then we've got Bayer Leverkusen at home, and then Villa at home. Oh, so even that. But at the end of the day, it's all about rhythm. Villa will be playing European football. Arsenal will be playing European football. Brighton.
I think we got City and Real Madrid in a row as well.
Yes, that's post Crystal Palace as well. So when you go into the November time, we've got Real Madrid at home, and City away. And then, City at home, sorry. Both Real Madrid and City, both at home, which is good. That's what we want to be seeing. And then Newcastle away, and then the Ev on the 7th of December. So, big games, thick and fast.
Merry Christmas, Everton.
Yeah. Tell me you're still in chat, lads. And there we go. But in terms of going forward, how far and where can those 3 lads take us if they all stay fit and like in terms of playing their maximum football?
Well, it all
they can take us close.
They can take us very, very close. It all depends on how much they can keep up. There's going to have to be rotation eventually against some of the lesser sides and stuff. And that's when you do bring in your Wet Arrows or you give your Martins a try and whatnot. But remember, we've got Chiesa as well to come into this team, and he can play in Szoboszlai's and McAllister's position. Which means that McAllister could drop back a bit if it's to give Gravenberch a rest, or vice versa. He can go over there. He can also play along the front. He's a very, very, very versatile player, and we're all forgetting about him, even though he's probably the biggest coup of the summer so far for me. Regardless of him coming to Liverpool for 10 million, that lad is just there as a major backup. But I think he's not going to settle for that. He's going to go for his place, and this dude can run with the ball, like really run with the ball.
100%, miss. 100%.
I think we go all the way with these guys, though. I think as Liverpool Football Club, we should be challenging for the league and for the Champions League, regardless of dropping out for a season or not back in. It's still the core of the same team, and we're playing better football now. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, miss. Besides, the period ahead will be challenging with Champions League and more games than last. I'm a bit worried for the stress period. Smaller squad last. I think it's what Arne Slot, Kev mentioned at the beginning of the season. I think we all, when you do analyse Arne Slot, historically, he does like a very tight-knit squad. And look at Manchester City as well. Like, Pep Guardiola, historically, he's not always had a big squad. Obviously, everyone looks to the bench at City, but that's given of the investment from like 10 years ago before. But I think when you look at it, they've just got rid of Alvarez, which is a bit mad. But Pep clearly trusts these players, considering obviously they're on the 4th league title running. But the most important thing I'd say, Reds, is if they do slip up City, we need to be in the contention. And I think long way to go, but a lot can happen.
If Haaland and or Rodri get injured, they're in big trouble for a while. Because they're not going to get the goals. They're not like Haaland was just an entity in himself for the first games of the season, but he has his spells where he doesn't score either. He can go 6, 7, 8 games without scoring. He tends to pick up an injury every so often that keeps him up for a couple of months at a time. But even in saying that, when you look at the squad depth between us and Arsenal, even up until last season, Arsenal only had 14 key players. They might have about 15 or 16 now, right? But we had a good 20 key players that always played top tier football that could have come in any shape or form and played. Now we've dropped Matip and Thiago and all that out of it, but we've replaced them with just the same kind of like cases after coming in now. So we pretty much kept it up around the 19 or 20 mark for really good players that can play as first team players as well as squad team players. So that Slot's not used to that, so that's why he's kind of taken a lot longer to develop the full style of it. The fact that we're still not conceding and we're winning games and and our joint top of the league.
We just become accustomed to conceding last year. Like it just become an
absolute joke. Last season was first. We were to concede first all the time. Yeah.
Like, and that is so difficult in terms of the thinking pattern as well, though, Charles, the players. I think when you're in that much of a rut, and when you're playing, well, thing is, we were playing well in second halves, but we were playing absolutely diabolical.
Yeah.
That was just goes to show, obviously, why Jurgen Klopp packed it up in the end, and he was just tired. I think he gave up, in all honesty. But on Slot, early stages of chat, I know we're only 3 games in, but we're all sensible enough, and we're all watching everything unfold in front of us. We there's a clear identity. Certainly, what you cannot say about Eric Ten Hag's 2.5 years or whatever he's been there. Yeah, I think even United fans are still scratching their head going, "What are we doing?" And the sheer arrogance of Eric Ten Hag. If you haven't checked out some of the interviews, in the post-match, it was. I think there must have been I think he just lost his rag. I think it was
the Manchester News report. Yeah.
I think, and every time
he asked him, like, do you think it's the coach? Why do you keep blaming the players? Do you think it's not the coaching? And Ten Hag said that it was, well, that's not what I see. I see that there's mistakes being made by individuals and there's this and that being made and blah, blah, blah. And he's not taking any blame whatsoever. And I just have to go to show you as well that outside of Manchester City, we've got the most trophies you'll find behind that. And I'm like, is he not going back to just what Liverpool won in the last, like, even 4 years? Of like, he's only going back to these 18 months or whatever like that. And I'm like, dude, you won a League Cup and an FA Cup. We won that in one season. A couple of seasons ago, nearly got the quad, and then we were still winning at least one of them in the last couple of seasons. So, it's all about the consistency of doing it, and they just weren't doing it. At the same time, United were playing a load of bogger teams, like a load of part-time teams on their way up to.
It was Cambridge in the
semi-finals, So it's and they lost some one leg or something. I don't know what it was.
Eric 7, not Harry Harry Potter tag. Respect Harry Potter. Probably certainly do a better.
We'll just call him Voldemort.
Eric Popper. That's what we'll call him anyway. But I think the penny has to drop with United's fan base. Fair enough, just backing your manager, but their pinnacle with Sir Alex Ferguson, their levels are absolutely in the floor. A bit like when we had obviously Roy and all that, but. They're
very deluded. I was even watching Angry Ginge yesterday today in his video of him at the game, and he was going up there just before we scored, and he says United have been the much better side. He says in this before we scored the goal, and we've got the goal out of just a whim. I don't know what he was saying, man. And some of the other lads were saying the same thing, and at least some people had the cop on to say that we absolutely played them off the park once we got going, But yeah, a lot of that just shows the delusion with that fan base at the moment. Like,
I love it, enjoy, because they are certainly 10 years off even getting anywhere close of not just us, but counterbalance that with even Manchester City and Arsenal now maybe in the equation for the next 2 years, but they need to go out and spend money. I think obviously Calafiori will be a big player for them, but especially if Saka gets injured, I think even Martinelli will. Leave Arsenal. I think his form's jumped off a cliff, really. But that is similar to what happens with certain other clubs out there when you're just constantly playing players through bad form.
Yeah.
Rashford, he's not. I will continue to be on this. He's not a bad player.
He's not. He's just in a bad team.
He's in a bad team and he's not getting coached. Like, obviously, if you're on 300 grand a week, you're not going to leave, your team, are you? So
he needs to be right on that D at the edge of the box, running either side of that into the box. He shouldn't be out that wide and coming in. He's been spoiled out there. But the same thing, even the lads I was talking to today inside in the chat, they were talking about the Zubimendi kind of situation. They were trying to compare Saka to Salah and and Rashford to Salah in the same way. And I'm turning around and saying, lads, these guys are nowhere near Salah's level. And it's because I use the thing of, Kimmich being older and Zubimendi being younger. But I said at the same time, Kimmich is older and he's dropping down a bit of a hill in the percentage for the stats wise. He's still a really good player, but he's dropping down a bit. But I said as well, like Saka might be younger than Salah, but they're nowhere near the levels of Salah for consistency in every season. It's just it's all about it is down to the stats. But the one thing that made me kind of throw my back up is that he said that Edwards was overhyped, and that that all teams have a Michael Edwards now in the team, and that I said no. I said every other team want the Michael Edwards in the team. What they have is just a few statmen trying to get out. Michael Edwards is the king dingling. This is why all these clubs are after him, but they refuse to give him the CEO kind of style position, whereas Liverpool brought him back and gave it to him. So
yeah, no, it's exciting, Jess.
Yeah.
It is big up there. They only beat us in 2002 because of the new manager bounce. Tanahan Gomez, and obviously that last year was our own fault. We literally committed our whole team on a corner, which is you'd never see that now with obviously even Pep Guardiola, or I'd even say Arne Slot. He wouldn't be that stubborn or stupid really to overcommit on
in the 4-3, is it?
Yeah, we were literally
we a lot of young fellas on it. That's it. We got cocky as well ourselves. It was a bad call. We brought a load of young fellas on, and we got done over because of it. We should have just seen the game out.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if he missed out 15 matches. Thing is, Matthias, Haaland might miss 15, but he'll still be on about 70 goals. He's an absolute robot, that fella, anyway. And he's only scored, what was it, 1 goal against Liverpool, so we've kept him quiet.
You know what, no goals conceded this season, and it's the defence that win your titles.
Yeah, 100%.
We've seen that because we scored more goals in City for a few seasons and didn't win the title.
Yeah, so. 100%, mate. I'm really happy with the start of what the Arne Slot eras from the Anfield Lark. Maybe his footy suits some of our players better.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, mate? Who would have thought? That's the thing. And this is what we said in the post-match, as I said to the lads on the panel and spoke to you last night. I think certainly Szoboszlai was brought in with the idea of getting Arne Slot in anyway. If you want to look that deep into it, possibly, maybe not. Might just be in a bit of coincidence that the data lads know exactly what they're doing with the profile of players. Who would have knew those lads in the expert fields of But
one thing I do notice about the difference of this season, Jack, is the fact that I might have seen somebody in the chat there saying that Richard says that they're at the bottom, that Gravenberch and Diaz are now blossoming under Slot, right? But who's dropped off? Then you're looking at your Joneses and your Elliots and whatnot, that they've kind of, and Kwanzas, they've dropped back. But I think Slot has just learned how to get the best out of the players that are already at a certain level above these guys. It's great that we had Elliott to back us to come in and play brilliant games last season.
Well, their levels will go up though.
Their levels are going to have to come up to catch up with the lads, which means they're going to turn into better players exactly from the outcome of it. But it's good because we spent all this money on these lads, and if Slot's coming in to get the best out of the money that we've spent, great, let them do it. The lads can still develop underneath them and challenge for places, but it's spot on there with the fact that we're now seeing the benefit from players that didn't reach their peak yet under Klopp, but they are starting to reach their peak under Slot. And I think we might even see the same from Gakpo, because I mean, if Jota ever gets injured, is he going to start Nunez or is he going to start Gakpo in the middle? That's another question that you have to ask. And I think that's why he's telling Gakpo be patient, because if Jota picks up an injury, Tipwood,
you'll get your chance.
You'll get your chance in there in the middle as well of the park. I don't know if he has the time to try and re-coach Nunez or what, but we'll see. He's still putting him in there on the pitch. So hopefully he comes good. I want to see Nunez do the best he can for us.
And I was so made up. And chat, if you haven't seen the inside pre-Man United video or whatnot, when Nunez his English has got much better. I made up for it, lads. Obviously, he's working so hard. Obviously, we see him on the pitch, but obviously off the pitch, he's really putting in the work as well. And I think Lucho can speak obviously English as well, much better, which is what it's all about, because it's so amazing. I know they're all footballers and they get a lot of money as well, but even for me or a lot of us out there, we went over to another country, it would be difficult, and we just got to adapt. I know people go, not learning the language won't mean no, mate. Especially if you're coaching staff and everyone's speaking English around you. The most important, that's where, as Kev said there, in terms of Arne Slot was coaching them, and it's just all a learning curve. And soon as the penny does drop in terms of everything clicks for Nunez, and I think it certainly still will, I'm not going to be a fan. I know you, Kev, and the majority of
Yeah.
us on the channel as well. We're not going to just jump on Nunes if we don't see it happening straight away.
No,
Because as
no.
Kev's alluded to, Elliott will bide his time. Jones, he'll get coached properly in terms of this style of football. Nunes is very similar as well. I think in stylistic terms, Kev,
He's
when you
not
look
no
at
striker.
Nunes, yeah, he will probably take the. I know everyone's going, oh, he's got 2 years to adapt, but yeah, that was under Jurgen Klopp as well. Like this is a new manager
He's
now.
playing the false nine kind of formation. On this side, he doesn't need to be the false nine. Like you could see that even Jota's kind of having to run into positions just to get the ball
No,
at sometimes. So,
would you say his overall game in terms of ball playing's got much better?
yeah,
Even with a matter of like 3 weeks. Like that's
yeah.
one aspect I'd say, Kev. I don't know you two mates or trust. Everyone when we all analysed Jota since he's come into Liverpool was that maybe finishing wise the best in the squad, probably would all agree, certainly. But in terms of ball playing, Jota sometimes but I think he's elevated his game from a forward-thinking, creative striker now, Jota. But even Nunes as well, though, Kev. That's one aspect of Nunes' game that he's always done well. If he wasn't scoring, he was always providing for Salah or other players in that forward line.
He'll click. He once he starts getting the ball slightly earlier than the intricate play. Once we don't need against lesser teams, you're probably going to see a bit more open for Nunes, and you'll see him get more chances. And once he starts hitting those chances, we're good.
Yeah, big up there, Richard. Yeah, I think we'd agree. I know me and Kev would be anyway. But Richard, let's know your thoughts. I think the thing that every Liverpool, and that's the beauty of our fan base, we give players time. Obviously, you might like certain players. It's the modern era of football. You like players a bit more and all that. It's what does my head falls off when you've got people creating Twitter accounts of players. Like it's just mad, but it's the way we live in anyway. But fair enough, if that's your favourite player and all that. But it's like we back every single one of these players. As soon as the window shuts, sounds get behind them, and then when the difficult moments do come for these players as well, we get them behind them even more as well. And they certainly do pick up on the support as well, though, Kev. They're only human as well, but even the lads and ladies that do go to grounds, travel away, it's what Liverpool Football Club is all about, sticking behind as a club and togetherness and getting behind these players. And it's going to be an exciting season. I can feel it in my bones, Kev. This season will be.
Yeah. It's a bit of excitement about it. And we're forgetting as well that Chiesa can play in a multitude of positions that he can. And even if Jota did get injured, Chiesa could go in down the middle as well. Play almost that false nine strike and roll very, very easy. Even a drop back 10. But like at the same time, I do agree with that. You might see Dom getting a bit of rest for the Forest game, especially when it's going to be at home. But it's all about the injuries. I just think the importance now is keeping Gravenberch fit and keeping McAllister fit. I don't even know if Gravenberch called up for the Dutch team, did he?
Probably will be anyway.
If he is, he wasn't called up for the tournament, but if he is called up, just keep him kind of injury free, just to keep the two lads in front of him flowing as well, or should I say, both of them at the side of him and in front of him whenever they decide to go back and forward. But
as Victor said there, let's hope we don't get any injuries for the international break, as you said there, Kev. We've been so lucky in those periods, lads, away as well. Everyone, fingers crossed. Just fingers crossed. Will be a difficult game, Callum. Every single game, as we know. We'll have plenty of shows on the build-up for that as well, mate. Anything you really want to touch on? Quickly, we've answered this. Nice one for your question, mate. Just, as I said, try and get in as much interaction as we possibly can. Reds, we are on 26 likes. If we can get that to 35 likes before we do shoot off in the next 10 minutes, it'd be much appreciated. And everyone, if you're new around here, we do go live most nights at 6 p.m. And anyone that misses the lives, and not everyone can jump on, do get your comments in on once the video's gone out live. We will get to them, and sometimes we do obviously feature the comments as well at the beginning of the episodes. But yeah, absolute legends. Hit that subscribe button as well. 27 likes, 37 of you in here. 3 more likes, or off 30. That would be very much appreciated, everyone. Kev, in terms of, I think we've Tyler Morton. I think we were speaking about those 3 mainly particular as well, but keeping on the theme of Liverpool's midfield depth. Tyler Morton, as we said, didn't go away, didn't get that loan, which was probably anticipated from a large sections of our fan base as well. That we all thought, oh, he's going to Salzburg or Leverkusen or whatnot. Arne Slot, we've already seen what he's been doing with Ryan Gravenberch over the last couple of months as well. Certainly Tyler Morton, when you look at the data, I know the data reds out there that do analyse all of it, but in terms of European football, he certainly ticks all the boxes in terms of ball retention, in terms of when he gets pressed as well. Well, we'll have a little more better look tomorrow in terms of Tyler Morton, Kev, but he's certainly got the hallmarks of a Arne Slot type player, hasn't he?
Yeah, you could see him for when is that West Ham game, the League Cup game? Is that in a couple of weeks, is it? You probably end up seeing him around then.
Yeah, 29th to 12th.
You might see him, you might even see Elliott then. Nunes might start these games, give Jota and them a rest. See Gakpo starting. Chiesa might start in that game. But Salah always want to play. That's the thing about Salah. So somebody always loses out in a place because for a cup game or something like that, because Salah's like, no, I want to play every game. I want to beat these records. And if I miss one of these chances to get on the pitch and play, you know. But I suppose, look, that was under Klopp. But maybe Slot would say, Salah, I need you fit, man. So I need you sitting down. We will give you 20 minutes.
I was going to say, no chance with Chiesa, mate. Chiesa's he's being here to wear. I think when he goes to bed at night, he's got his Liverpool PJs on. He would have been in that club shop spending a couple of £100. He's like, get all the Liverpool gear in, lad. But he sat there in his Liverpool bed as well. Like, I love it. Like, he's fully integrated. Like, whatever. Chiesa is probably he's well advanced at lovely Italian cuisine, but just have a little bit of paniscouse, lad. It's just you'll be like, what's that? Obviously, just get invited round to tent gaff with all his family and all that, and obviously get Curtis involved, and that's what you love. It's infectious, really. And even he was getting stick going into the ground, so he was already integrated into the obviously being a Liverpool player anyway. So he would have loved that. He would have loved it anyway in terms of just laughing it off, really. But it's welcome to Liverpool, Jason. And I'll tell you what, Kev. You were saying about Salah, but mate. Casey will be having a word. So lads, I've waited best part of like 5 weeks. I am playing, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he's going to score a hat-trick on his debut. I'm sorry, but I am going to be as excited as anything, really.
He's just a baller, man. That fella, like he's just the way he plays. He just reminds you of. Oh, it's very hard, man. He's like a mix of Arshavin with. Who's that other guy? That was not Kanchelski. I was going to say Paul Kanchelski, but no, Kanchelskis. They used to kind of run at people back in the day. He's just got that kind of ilk is the only word I can think of about him. That kind of aura about him and how he plays. And he's a gifted player, man. He can dance over people's feet. He can meg people. He can triple meg people at a time, even at one stage. He's outstanding. But you remember this fella was going for 100 million 2 or 3 seasons ago until he got that injury. And then whatever happened to him, he didn't get going and get back into the squad. And
give it a couple of weeks, his value will absolutely soar.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just didn't have that. You haven't got the greatest of medical team down there that they just kind of rush players back. It's all about turnover for them and getting the money in over the table.
That's the way he dealt with it, Arthur Mello.
Yeah, but that just goes to show you that they haven't got a good medical staff there, because he was playing well last season for the team that he was in, wasn't he? He was having a stormer of a season. So that just goes to show you, like, just lads, if you're injury prone, just don't go to Juve, because you just won't be looked after. Yeah. Pretty much.
And do check out the Juve documentary as well. Chat, if you haven't seen it, you do see a lot more in depth in terms of him as well. Has Gravenberch been cool? I'm not too sure, Tony. Chat, you might have to let me and Kev know. Like, I'll have to check after we've gone live, but you'd anticipate, because if it's the Nation League, I know all these nations love the Nation League, but it's just another glorified friendly for me, mate. I know they got a trophy and all that, but won't be watching that.
Yeah, I couldn't care less about it.
Yeah, Casey has dominated the right foot, but his left is very good. And he's 100% there, mate. The Anfield Lark. Really hope Elliott gets the minutes and stays. It'll obviously be 100% there, mate. Obviously, what we were saying about Yeah, 100%. Ian, big up there, mate. Great midfield, but City have 3 different rotations. Of course, Ian. Obviously, they've spent $1 billion in the space of about 10 years. And obviously, David Silva. Obviously, David Silva is probably one of my favourite Premier League players. What a player he was. But yeah. Gundogan, Ian, I'm guessing you're a City fan, mate. Welcome. But yeah, Gundogan, I love as a player. I think if he didn't have the allegiances.
With what 3 rotations of City's midfield are better besides having Rodri in it?
Yeah.
You take Rodri over that midfield. What's the other midfield part that's going to be better?
I think Mikael Lewis has been playing, but obviously
I'm not going to listen about a young fella. That's it's like saying Harvey Elliott is better than Rodri.
No, they had Calvin Phillips, but that didn't work out.
No.
Yes,
there's no 3 rotations in City that are better
it's
than
difficult.
that.
It's a bit similar with City, with Salah though, mate. With Rodri, with Salah, with De Bruyne and Haaland, with Van Dijk, you can't, unless you're spending 200 million to replace that player, it's unrealistic to get that quality, even for a side like City as well. For the only money they spend, some in Liverpool, there's certain players in every single team. A bit like Arsenal with Declan Rice as well. Obviously, you've got Thomas Partey, but Declan Rice is a very good player for me. But it's impossible for any great side to get like-for-like quality unless you literally like Real Madrid's forward line and you're just stocking it with just pure talent, mate. But it's going to be one of them. Big up there, Ian. Good to see you in chat, mate. A couple of new faces, which is always well and good.
Yeah.
Salah could easily have 20 minutes and score in the league. Yeah, or get a hat-trick and then just get off as well. He'll have Rushie's record in his mind, no wigs every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, big up there. I just don't understand why we didn't replace. But we'll get there, mate. We will get there. Rome wasn't built in a day, mate. And Arne Slot's going to be in here a couple of months. He's got his vision. He's got his plan.
It's probably the same reason why we didn't replace somebody for Robbo when Simicast wasn't good enough for Klopp last season. It's because Joe Gomez was there to play in that role. So when you have utility players in the squad, you never really see them getting replaced. Matip coming in, all that. We've got like Quantas after stepping up into that role, So yeah, so he is the kind of replacement if you think of it over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Morton, yeah, that will be ours. We need DM and a cinema. Yeah, we'll get there, Richard. Chat, we'll get there. Calm down. Well, we've got another 6 months until the window, and then it all starts again.
Gomez can play the cups.
Yeah, we got depth there, chat. Yeah. But you'll have the clever clogs when the injuries do occur, and that does my head in. I've been on YouTube about 7-8 years. It's like we do not want injuries, but it's people have got this much bias towards certain players or against players,
or just being right in general.
Yeah, just
people just can't be. Some people just can't be wrong.
Yeah, the sections of like just not Liverpool fans, but fans in general, like they celebrate injuries. It's like, mate, you are not a fan. Like, why are you celebrating a player getting injured, mate? It's like
because it proves me right with our depth.
It's
But there's the other players that can fill into that role. Because it's not a new boy. That makes no sense to me. Like there's somebody in the club that's already got the philosophy of Slot, or whoever's playing that way. There's no need to go out and spend 80 or 90 million on somebody that mightn't work out. It has to be the right. It has to suit Edwards for the right data. That's the way it works.
100%. The data lads with the laptops. Yeah, it's didn't we get done a couple of seasons ago for Liverpool? With like certain players, didn't we get fined? Was it something to chat? What was it with us and City years ago? Was it something about like the data or something in terms of? I think we paid like compensation fee of like 3-4 million or something. I'll have to check that out, chat, and we'll speak about it tomorrow anyway. But obviously, we got the slap on the wrist by Southampton. Grass into the Premier League about Virgil van Dijk. But yeah, I have to check that out. Also, next summer, if Salah, Virgil van Dijk go, we need.
100%.
Russell will be spending that.
That'll be spent. That's the kind of players that you spend big money to replace,
Yeah. For any squad there, mate. Well, how you doing, Russell? It's a very good day, mate. Been on for an hour. Still 35 people in here. A massive thank you for everyone that has tuned in, and even for all the Lakers in the background just chilling and listening to the audio and the video podcast as well. Massive thank you for everyone that has tuned in. Obviously 31 in here. If we can run those likes up as well, it'd be very much appreciated. If you are watching on the repeat, we've covered quite a couple of bases really. But if you want us to speak, me and Kev, or next couple of days about certain topics or certain debates as well, obviously you, the subscribers and the Liverpool fans out there, you can very much pose the topics of discussion. Me and Kev can present, but let all use and chat as well. Use the most important thing as always, chat. A massive thank you to every single one of you for tuning in day after day as well. And for people that leave the comments as well, you absolute legends. And Kev is going to, I was going to say Sangria.
Wiggs was asking me what my tipple was. So it's Sangria.
Yeah, I think Wiggs said it. Is that you're on the cokes there, Kev? But certainly not, as you can see. Lovely bit of product placement there from Kev. There we go, man of culture. There we go. But chat. But yeah, I think they will. Yeah, 100% there's only fingers crossed, mate. But chat, have a lovely rest of your Monday. Whatever you're doing tomorrow, have a very good day. And we will be live at 6 p.m. tomorrow. And as I said, chat, if you've got anything you want to talk about in tomorrow's episodes, leave the comments in the post live comments as well, and we'll get back to them and we will feature them as well. But yeah, no, cheers, Wiggs, cheers, everyone. Massive thank you, Kev, and Kev will be back home in 2 days. He'll be back.
2 days, yeah. Oh yeah, then when I'm doing the Wednesday night show, I'll be nicely tucked up inside my own gaming room, ready to go and wishing I was back in the sunshine.
Yeah, there we go, lads. Enjoy it, lads. Right, Kev, massive thank you for joining me today, mate. And let's see you tomorrow at 6.